to the Poppy and Prim podcast. My name is Laramie, and welcome to my channel. I am coming to you from mid-Michigan, where I live with my husband and our two daughters, Lily, who is she'll be 5 in April, and our little one, Olive, who is almost 18 months. It has been a while since I filmed a podcast. So, there's no better time than now. So, today is Friday, January 4th, and my little one is taking a nap. So if you see me glancing down here, I have my show notes because I feel like this might get a little bit out of control if I don't keep on track. And also I have my baby's monitor just to keep an eye on her. My husband is grocery shopping with our oldest, so yeah, just thought I'd get in a little podcast because it has been like months, been a long time. So the plan for today is I'm gonna go ahead and do my knitting stuff, some acquisitions, my make 9, some creative goals this year, and then just a little update on life. So again, if you're new to this channel, thank you for stopping in and checking it out. If you are a returner, thank you even more for coming back and seeing what I have. If you don't already follow me on social media, obviously you've got my YouTube channel here. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll make sure my handle is down here on the bottom, as well as Ravelry. Those are my kind of like main areas. So check me out there. But other than that, we are just going to get right into the nitty-gritty knitting. Alrighty, so I have had, I believe, 3 FOs, one of which I have in my hands, 2 of which, one of which was a gift knit. I don't have a picture of it, but I'll explain here in a minute, and one of which is in my bedroom with the sleeping baby, so I'm going to include a picture, video in a moment. But the one that I have in my hands is this one. This is the Olive and Jack hat. I'll link the pattern. I knit for my little one, Olive. It was going to be a gift knit, but then I didn't have enough time to finish it, so I just made it for her. This is out of Lolo Did It's Barely There collection in the Lagoon colorway. So it's just really cute, like simple little cables. She loves it. I made it a little bit longer, so she'll have plenty of room to grow into it. My big one can also wear it, so they kind of share it, but yeah, super cute, super fun. I'll definitely knit another one of these. I really enjoyed it. It was held double. I held it double, the fingering weight yarn. And yeah, it's nice and warm and snuggly. So I also finished a cowl for my mom for her birthday, which was right around Thanksgiving. I just did like a 2-color brioche. I can't remember what the pattern I used is called, but I'll include it. It's just like a real simple 2-color brioche, and it like kind of alternated every other section, so it kind of like almost looked like these like broken ribs kind of things. I learned to brioche right before that from my very good friend, and so yeah, I just did that. It was real simple, and I don't have a picture of it. I probably can't get a picture of it, but I'll include the pattern. And then I also finished my Weekender. So you have seen the Weekender before in some of my previous podcasts. I finished it. It's in my bedroom. I'll include a little snippet of a picture or video here of it. It's just I'm not going to risk going in there and waking her up. So yes, I finished that. I love it. I have been wearing it a lot, specifically over dresses. And yeah, so I really enjoyed that one. So those are kind of my FOs, which doesn't seem too crazy, but now I'm going to get into whips, because even though I don't have a lot of FOs, I've made some good progress on some whips. So I'm going to start with my granny stripe blanket. After I finished Olive's Olive and Jack hat, I kind of just didn't really know what I wanted to work on. So I picked up my granny stripe blanket. It's still not super far, but I did add in a few different rows. So here it is. I was somewhere like in this like maybe purpley area right in here. So not a ton of additions, but I did finish all of the minis I used in my Pixel Rise socks. I was doing those in order from where they are in the Pixel Rise socks. So I finished that. This green section is the first that's not. It's just another mini that came in the set that I didn't actually put in my Pixel Rise socks. I have like maybe 4 minis that didn't end up working in my Pixel Rise just because my feet aren't that big. So I'm just like working in those right now. But yeah, so I worked on that for a couple days, just for fun. And so it's been come out of hibernation. I also have been working on some socks. Let's see where they are. So I kind of wanted to cast on some socks, but I have been having some problems with my gauge as far as socks go. I used to be a English flick knitter, so right hand flick knitter, and probably 4 to 6 months ago, I switched over to continental knitting, right? I have a family history of like really arthritic thumbs, and with as much as I knit, I didn't want to like exacerbate the problem. So I was like, I just need to go ahead and learn how to continental, just bite the bullet and do it. I've done a little bit of two-handed stranded color work, so it wasn't like something that was like out of my scope. It was just like I didn't want to get over that hurdle of frustration. But I finally just like did it. But socks have been a real struggle for me because my gauge is a lot looser than it was when I was an English knitter. So I have just been kind of frustrated. I lost my sock knitting mojo, and so I really wanted to get that back because I like to knit socks. I like to wear knit socks. I just needed to get over that hurdle. So I casted on some socks, and I'll show you the yarn first. So this is the yarn. This is one of Hugh Loco's sister colorways she did in collaboration with the Grocery Girls. I believe it's the little sister. Yeah, I believe it's the little sister set, but this is on Stellina. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe a little bit on the black. But I've had this in my stash for a while. I wasn't really interested in wearing it as a shawl. So I finally was like, oh, maybe I'll do some socks. And I came across this pattern on Instagram, and it seemed perfect. So this is the Coffee Talk Socks by Tracy from the Grocery Girls. And so here it is. So it's got this like broken kind of rib stitch on the front. It's plain stockinette on the back. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually knitting these concurrently on Magic Loop. So I knit this one, and then I cast it on the cuff and did the whole leg of this one. Actually just finished this last night and got to the point where I want to be before I put in my heels. So I'll go ahead and put the heel in on this one, then go back and put the heel in on that one. I used to knit socks one at a time, and I just, with as frustrated as I have been with socks, I didn't want to risk second sock syndrome. So I'm actually knitting these on a new set I got. So I used to knit 56 stitches on size US 1s. That was my stitch count. So I did 56 stitches on US 1s and 64 stitches on US 0s when I was an English knitter. Since my gauge has loosened so much, this is actually 56 stitches on double zeros, which is crazy. These are so teeny, teeny, tiny. But I wanted like a tighter fitting sock. It's kind of a rib sock, so I was like, that'll be a little bit forgiving. But I got one of the Goose mini twist sets as a gift, and so I'm using the double zeros on, I believe it's maybe the 24-inch cable, which I think is perfectly fine for just one sock, since I'm not doing them 2 at a time. I don't like to knit them 2 at a time. I get really frustrated with constantly like getting my yarn untangled, and so I'm just knitting them concurrently, and so far I'm really liking that. Yeah, teeny, teeny, tiny. And I'm hoping it works, because I do not want to drop down to a 000 to knit socks. It's like crazy, but I'm liking the gauge that I'm getting. So yeah, there's my sock whip. I am actually currently holding this in a wet bag that is new. My cloth diaper company, if you've watched the podcast before, you know I use my wet bags as project bags. A large majority of them never actually have diapers in them. But this is a new one called Fair Isle, perfect for knitters. And this little one is perfect for just a pair of socks. So there's that whip. And the last whip that I'm like actively working on is my Find Your Fade. I have worked on it a lot. I actually can't remember where I was last time I podcasted, but I'll show you where I am. So, alright, so here's the end. So I'm at the point where I'm decreasing on one side and increasing on the other, so it's going to end up a point the other end. So here's this is really hard to hold because it's so big. But pretty much I have just finished color 5. Well, I'm getting ready to fade in color 6. So I finished the lace section of color 5. I'm just doing a few rows of the garter before I start fading in color 6, which is this color. So this is coming next. Let's see, where's my ball? There it is. So here's the color 5. That'll be color 6. And then it's going to be color 7. That's what's coming next. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get into a little bit of acquisitions. Don't have a lot, but I just have a few things I wanted to show you. First of all, I haven't really acquired any yarn. Maybe one skein, but I haven't done anything with it. But I have acquired some new needles, I've acquired some new books, and I did a fiber swap in, so that's what I got. First of all, I'm going to show you my needles. So my local yarn store is called Woven Art. It's in East Lansing, Michigan, and they kind of almost exclusively carry Addies, and we were getting ready to go home for Thanksgiving. And I really needed some needles, so I didn't have like time to order them from somewhere else or go anywhere to get any new ones. So I just went ahead and picked them up at my local store. And I really I like them. So I needed a 6 for my olive and jacket. So I got 6. I also picked up some bigger needles. I have some bulky yarn, and I don't have really any needles that are bigger than a 9. So I got a US 11 and I got a US 10, both on 40-inch cords. Honestly, I really like the needle itself. But I really love my Chaogus, so especially when it comes to the cord. I'm not sure that I would like regularly spend the amount that the Addies cost. I don't love them that much that it would be worth the extra money for me to have them versus using my Chaogus or ordering a Chaogu. But I love the needle tips themselves. They're nice. They're nice and slick, and I really like that. But yeah, like I don't mind the cord. It's not the worst cord I've ever used. It's just not really my favorite. So, but yeah, so I got those. I also acquired a interchangeable Chaogu set. This is just a small set, so it's got. So I got the mini set, which is the 000s through the I think it's 1.5, and then I got the mini set, which is just the size 2s through the US 8s. So yeah, I got those and the cords and the stitch markers that come with it. I'm super excited. I don't have anything currently that I'm using on them because I'm trying to be really good about just not casting on all the things, but I'm really excited to actually get some projects on these needles. I am using my mini twist set, and I love that. So, yeah. I also picked up a couple books. First one I got was this Mending Matters. If you haven't seen this, you must be living under a rock. I just am really interested in slow fashion, and I really just thought this was something I should have in my back pocket or my bookshelf or whatever. And honestly, before I started this podcast, I had to use this book to mend my work pants. And yeah, so I'm really excited to like really dig deep into it. But it's fantastic. The pictures are beautiful. The ideas that they have for mending things is fantastic. I'm really excited about it. So that one. I also picked up this Amy Herzog, I don't know how you pronounce her name, ultimate sweater book. Not because I'm super interested in sweater design. I've never thought I would be a designer or anything, but more so for modifying patterns. I'm very not like traditional shaped. I'm very slender and small, but I'm tall. I'm like 5'7", so I'm not like super short or what I would consider petite. I'm just small, but so I tend to knit the smaller sizes and patterns, but then I end up with like this weird, like not quite cropped sweater, not quite normal length sweater, or like 3/4 sleeves instead of like normal sleeves. And so like I kind of wanted just something that I could reference for modifying patterns so they better fit my shape. And yeah, so far I haven't got to like look through it too much, but it's super in depth, lots of stitch counts, lots of like different how to modify it for worsted weight versus a fingering weight. And so I'm really excited to like actually like dig into it. But yeah, it's very, very got a lot of information, so I'm super excited to actually dig into it. So okay, so my last acquisition, I did a Christmas fiber swap through a Facebook group I'm in. The runner of the Facebook group runs her indie dyed business, Garden Wool and Dye Co. She specializes in naturally dyed yarns that are locally sourced, and yeah, so she's super great. Check out her Instagram. I'm gonna make sure her handle's down here She has a Facebook group that's also kind of geared towards like slow processed, obviously knitting, but also like dyeing and just like slowing down and really enjoying your craft, which really kind of spoke to me. So we did a little tiny like kind of fiber swap, fiber share thing, and my partner's name is, I think she would pronounce it Barbara, spelled like Barbara only with an O, and she's in Norway. So that was super, super exciting. So she sent me this cute little card and some chocolate. It's called Ariba. 71% cacao from Ecuador. So chocolate. And she also sent me this sweet, awesome, cool little, it's like a kit for a Christmas ornament. You like string it yourself. So I'm super excited about that for next year. Already packed up all our Christmas stuff, so I probably won't do it until next year. This cool little like mesh bag. Obviously you can put your yarn in it. You can put produce or whatever you want to. It's super cool. I love it. And of course, oh, one more little thing. Cute little notebook. I love little notebooks. I almost always have just like a little notebook with me. And then she sent me some Norwegian wool. It's gorgeous, like orangey. This is like totally one of my colors. It's like super kind of like a woolly wool. I think I probably can't wear this around my neck, but I could definitely like make a hat out of it. The entire ball band is in Norwegian, I would imagine. I can't tell you anything about it. I don't know. I would imagine it's probably like a sport DK, but it's like really woolly. So I'm super excited about it. And I'm gonna link her Instagram handle here. You should go follow her. She's like a phenomenal, I don't know what she does, but she's got like amazing pictures. Her like goal for 2018 was she was gonna try 12 different crafts, and knitting happened to be one of them. But she tried like all these different crafts and stuff. So I'm gonna link her Instagram here, and you should totally go check her out. She also included like a sweet little leaves and stuff. So when I opened it, it smelled like what I would imagine Norway smells like. Cute. It was so cute. So thank you, Barbara. You probably don't watch this because you're like crazy busy and awesome, but I appreciate it and I love it and I can't wait to use it all. So I have one thing that I made, so I guess that's kind of an acquisition, but not really. I made myself and Cassandra from Resonets for her birthday. I made her one of these little sock sacks, little project bags. And I just was like, I might as well make two because I've already got my sewing machine out. So I made her one too. But I'll include her picture. Looks so much better. But this is a fabric I've had from I think it's called Sash Fabrics. She runs her business off of Facebook, and they do custom like illustrated fabrics, and she sells them all different ways, all different, you can buy like linen or cotton or whatever you want. And my best friend and I went in and bought like 3 yards of this last year, 2 years ago maybe. And I'm making her a quilt right now with it, and I had some extra, so I whipped this up some little project bags. So, yeah, so I think that goes as far as my acquisition. So, I'm saying so a lot in this podcast because there's so much stuff that I have to like get out. Next, I have my Make 9. that everyone is doing. If you're on Instagram, everybody's seen the Make 9. I did it last year. I kind of failed. Not really failed. I completed 2 projects off of it, and I had 2 whips from it that are current. Like my Find Your Fade was on my Make 9 last year, and I'm still working on it. It's gonna get finished. But yeah, so but I was like, I'm gonna do it this year. I'm gonna commit to getting at least half of them done. And so yeah, this is gonna be my section on my Make 9. So my first on my Make 9, it's gonna be right here, is called the Avalanche Sweater by Heidi. I think it's Heidi Klein Design. It's right here. It's a bulky weight yarn sweater. I already have the yarn for it. I'll show it here in a moment. And yeah, so I really wanted like a bulky weight, something that's like quick but like interesting to knit. So I picked that one. I'm gonna do the no frills. Little picture. The no frills. I've never used mohair before. I'm really interested in trying out some mohair. And I really like simplistic pieces. I mostly wear like plain, nothing fancy, pretty neutral, muted tones. So don't have the yarn for that yet, but I'm going to get that one. So the no frills, which again, everybody has seen it. I'm gonna do Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. If you didn't know, my husband is getting his master's / PhD. I think we're gonna do a through and through and just knock out the PhD in entomology. And his research is actually in ground nesting bees, but bees are kind of something that we've always like really kind of been drawn to. So I just love that honeycomb yolk. So I really want to do that one. I also want to do a couple shorter sleeved tops for like the spring and summer. So Maritimo by Boyle and Knitworks is on my list. Picture. The Brunswick Tea by Olive Knits is going to be done. I have the yarn for that, and I'll show it in a moment. Nordiska from Boyle and Knitworks, which is kind of more of like a cropped V-neck, maybe not quite 3/4 lengths, not quite short sleeved sweater. So that one. Bobby by Pam Allen from Quince & Co. I think she partnered with Quince & Co. for it. It's a sport weight striped 3/4 length, kind of cropped top. I have had it in my queue for a while. I'm really excited about it. I just haven't quite found the right yarn for it yet, but that one's definitely going to happen. And the Waiting for Henry socks by Tabby from Hey Sister Yarn Co. That one's definitely going to happen. And then the last one I have on my Make 9 is Nurtured by Andrea Mowry, which is a cropped sweater. Everybody's seen it. I'm excited about that one. I'm having a little hard time again trying to figure out how cropped I want it. I'm not like large chested or anything, so like I don't know if like super cropped is gonna like be flattering to me, so I think I might do it a little bit longer. But I love the texture on it, and I already have the yarn for that, although I don't have it on me. It's in my closet, my craft closet. But I've shown it on other podcasts. I was going to do a different sweater, but it's I can't remember what it is right now. It's gonna like come to me out of nowhere here in the most inconvenient time. But yeah, so I do have the yarn for that. It's like a pretty like chestnutty brown color. So yeah, there's my that's gonna be what's on my Make 9. Let me know. I have other things in my queue too that I'm like determined are gonna happen. The like Sunset Highway was on my Make 9 2018, didn't happen. I still plan on doing it. A lot of Boyle and Knitworks patterns, like I'm really interested. Her style is very much like I think my style. Like I like interesting, but like interesting as far as like knitting it and stuff. But I'm just like not into like super colorful things. That's not my style. Like I like muted things, but I do like color work, and so I'm kind of like just like drawn to her style. Um, but those are the ones I'm going to focus on. I think I actually can get it done, especially since I already have the yarn for 3 of them. So, alrighty. So for this section of the podcast, I'm calling this like my mindless knitting section. This is like what I'm knitting to, what we're watching, what I'm listening to, stuff like that. So I'm going to start with the books that I've been reading. I don't normally like knit and read, but sometimes I do. And I haven't really gotten into audiobooks, but I think I'm going to try to get into more audiobooks because I love podcasts, like audio podcasts. So I don't know why I wouldn't like audiobooks. But I've been reading some creative books, and I just thought I wanted to share that. So the first one I am reading is Van Gogh biography, and it is a monster. I've had this book for probably 4 years. I got it for my birthday, probably 4 years ago, and I attempted to read it once, maybe twice, and it's just like very dense, and I think I just needed to kind of like mature in my my reading, I guess. Not that I was like immature in reading, but I don't know, it just wasn't the right time to read it. Van Gogh's one of my favorite artists. If you didn't know, I have a history in fine arts, so I'm very interested in, obviously, the great artists, and I love biographies. I've read a lot of biographies, and so, yeah, I thought I'd go through Mr. Van Gogh. I'm about less than 100 pages in, but it's gonna happen. This is the year it's gonna happen. So, I've been reading that. I have also been reading in ebook form. Through our library, we can check out a lot of ebooks and stuff on the library, on like a library app. Ours is called like Hoopla and stuff. And while I put my little one to bed or down for her nap, I like to try and read instead of mindlessly scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So I've been reading a couple books like that, and I would highly recommend them. You may have seen it. It's called Steal Like an Artist. It's about finding your creative muses and inspiration, and it's super short. I read it like within just a couple of days, just while I was putting her down for bed and down for her nap. So I read Steal Like an Artist. I'll put the information like right here. I also am currently reading his second book. It's called Show Your Work, and it's about finding your courage and finding your people who kind of rally around you in your creative journey and in your art and in your work. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that, and I know that you can also get it in audiobook form. So yeah, check out your local library for that. And yeah, so that's where I am as far as books go. Netflix and knit, not Netflix and chill, because that's a totally different thing. My husband and I have been going through, I think it's called Black Mirror. I'm gonna double check. It's something Mirror. I'm pretty sure it's called Black Mirror. We're only like 1 or 2 episodes in, but it's kind of like a old like but pretty much it's like kind of like the psychological thriller, but like in a kind of sciencey way. At least the first episode was. Kind of makes you think about, different things and stuff. So they're like really long episodes. There's not very many in the series. It's a Netflix original. And yeah, so we've been going through that. I've been going back through the Gilmore Girls. Kind of go back to that every once in a while. because it's something I can kind of watch when the girls are up, but not something that like I have to focus a lot on. And then we go through The Office like on repeat. We always go back to the Benihana Christmas, and then we watch like the next 20 episodes, and then we go back to the Benihana Christmas, and then we go through the next 20 episodes. Every once in a while we throw in one of the earlier ones or one of the later ones, but like that's kind of my husband's favorite like time frame of The Office, so that's one we always go back to. So those are kind of what we've been watching. And then as far as podcasts go, I have been like going crazy for Christy Glass's. I'm probably like way behind times, but Christy Glass's interviews with the designers, I've been kind of binge watching those. Like yesterday alone, I think I watched, after I put the girls to bed, my husband was playing a video game and I was knitting, and so I watched Boyle and Knitworks, I watched Andrea Mowry's, I watched Stephen West, yeah, so I've been going through those. I'm still catching up on a lot of Vlogmas stuff, so I personally Vlogmissed. You'll see those episodes here through like day 19 maybe, and then I kind of fell off bandwagon. It's a lot of work, and I will be better prepared next year for it, but yeah, so still kind of going through those. I would love some recommendations for some new podcasts that are like maybe out of the norm. But yeah, so I've been pretty obsessed with Christy Glass right now, which she has a daughter named Olive, and so does Andrea Mowry, which I found out yesterday when I watched the interview. So okie doke. Well, I think that is the end of kind of a lot of my like set knitting stuff. Now I'm going to move into a little bit more life stuff. There's still some creative things that are like in the midst of that. So if you want to stick around, do. But otherwise, I'm just going to kind of get into like what's happened over the last few months, what I've been doing, where I'm going, what the new year's going to look like. And yeah, alrighty. So I can't even remember when the last time I podcasted was. But it's been a while. I have been really busy. I started working at Target, and so it's the Christmas season. I've been super busy. I was super busy there. And then if you've watched my Vlogmas, this is going to be a little bit of a you know, you've already heard this, but right before Thanksgiving, I went to the dermatologist. I have a long history with precancerous moles, and so I see a dermatologist at least every 12 months, and I have since I was 16, so this has been, I'm 27, so 11 years, going on 12 years. And I got reestablished at a new dermatologist office here in Michigan. I had a regrowth of a mole that we'd been watching for a while. I wasn't super comfortable with it. And so we went and had it removed. The day before Thanksgiving, my dermatologist called, and it was what we suspected of being melanoma. Stage 1A melanoma. So kind of step 2 from being like best case scenario. There's like one step below that's like stage 0, which is like on the verge of melanoma, but not quite there. They still treat it as if it was melanoma, but so this is kind of lowest stage possible. It was 0.3 millimeters in depth, which is very good. It means there's no reason to think that there would be any lymph node involvement. I had to go and have, they call it a WLE, a wide local extraction. So what they do is they cut like a football shape out around from where the melanoma was. They have to do a centimeter on each side. Yeah, so they cut it out, make sure there's no melanoma in the outer margins. So I had that done, but not before Thanksgiving. I just had the normal removal before Thanksgiving. We were traveling. We spent Thanksgiving at Logan's brother's house. Obviously, this put a little bit of a damper on it. I didn't have a lot of information at the time. They didn't have like my full pathology report back or anything. And you kind of go like worst case scenario, like it's still cancer, like, but I didn't quite know like what that meant as far as like my treatment goes. But we had a really good Thanksgiving at Logan's Brothers, real low key. The girls got to play with their cousins. It was really nice. And then from there we went to Kansas. We got to spend time with his other family. So his little sister just had a baby, so we got to visit them. We got to visit my parents, my mom. We spent a lot of time with them, see our friends and everything. And we spent over a week there. Yeah, it was really good. It was like we kind of got to fill up our love tank, our hug tank. But we were definitely like ready to get home. So what happened was Logan flew home a week before, supposed to be a week before we went home. But he ended up getting snowed in. Like Kansas got more snow than we have in the last like 5 years in like 24 hours. And he ended up having to spend 2 extra days in Kansas. And so then, so he finally got home. He had to take an Uber from the airport, which is like an 1.5 hour long drive from the airport to where we live, which you can imagine is quite expensive. We have a guest. Anyway, so she's gonna want some milk. The girls and I drove back, and then kind of went into Christmas mode. Christmas was really good. We stayed here. We didn't have, it was just like the first year I think we've ever had where we didn't go anywhere, we didn't see anybody, we just stayed home, girls opened presents, and it was like real chill. We normally like travel. We're at like one house and then another house, and it's just crazy. So it was nice. It was a little weird just because I'm so used to traveling. We have some big changes coming up in the new year. As per most people, I feel like, everybody has their New Year's resolutions and their words of the year and whatever, but there's a couple of big things that are coming. So first of all, by the time this video comes out, I will have officially, finally, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, launched my blog. I have had it in the works for almost a year, and it's just been, I am not somebody that, I like things to be complete before I let anybody see them, and so it's just like hard for me to get in that mindset of like being complete. I don't know, but it's gonna be as good as it's gonna be, and I'm ready to share it with people. So by the time this comes out, it will be out for the world. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this. I am coming on to the Riza Knits team to help Cassandra as kind of an admin. I'm helping her type up patterns and just get a flow where she can kind of put things out, at a pace she likes, because I have a background in administration, and so I'm really just coming on to come alongside her to help her with efficiency and getting her patterns out so everybody can enjoy them. They're so awesome. So we just announced that yesterday, and yeah, it's still in the early stages, but I'm just excited. I've always been somebody that really likes to help, to be a helper. I'm kind of an admin at heart and always have been. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so now that little Missy is awake, we'll say, do you want to say bye-bye? Say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.